Hello there, welcome back. Or welcome for the first time. How are you doing? Today we're making this bear character inside Blender 3.3. So if you have Blender and you want to make this character, I think you're in the right place. So it's a random character, original character. So if you want to follow along, please be my guest, and follow along. But I'm excited. Okay, let's just do this clip. I was waiting to do this clip, and then my tongue happened, but we're here, let's do this, okay? And if you don't know something, if you have a question, please leave them in the comments down below. I believe people will answer them, and I as well. I'm gonna sneeze. It's so bad, I'm sorry. I have a terrible sneeze. Okay, let me just stop talking. According to this person, I talk too much, and I mean, I know he's rude, but I kind of agree. But he's still rude, so you. Anyway, moving along. So before we go, here's the plan. Okay, I'm a bit more chill now. I know. I think I was anxious from the camera. I get this stage right. Anyway, so here's the plan. First, we're gonna import the reference image, as you see, and from there, we're gonna start building our bear character, mainly from the body, then the ears, and then the legs and the arms, the mouth, and so on and so on. It's a very simple character, as you can see. I might say about myself that I'm quite the beginner inside Blender, so I hope you find this tutorial to be helpful. On your left corner, you're gonna see all the shortcuts that I'm using, but I will probably say them out now, or I will try to navigate you to tell you which one I'm using, and particularly, it's all good if you don't know all the shortcuts. I don't know them either. So, but I did try to use a lot of shortcuts here while recording this little bear. I think it's helpful to know them, at least to try to use them while you're sculpting, aka modeling. So, as I said, the models are simple, and let's just get into it. First things first, we are going to, as you can see, we got import our reference image, but before that we need to position to have the front view, and you can see the shortcut for that, and then Shift A and go to image. From there you have to find your reference image. You can use my reference images in the description down below. There's a link, as I said before, and now I'm just gonna find where is that image. So once we have our image, as you can see, it's in front of our cube, and we're gonna go over there and to lower the opacity of this image so we can see a little bit better. I know that we don't see much because the cube is in the way, but first we're gonna remove the camera and the light from over there, so they won't be distracting. Then we're gonna add a modifier to the cube by also, before doing that, we can also make the cube spiral from that button over there. We're gonna work with a lot of modifiers on this. Since the model is very simple, simple shapes, I'm just gonna use simple shapes for that, and a lot of modifiers. The main modifier that we're going to use is the subdivision modifier, and the shortcuts that you're gonna see me use are for the loop cut, which right now is Control and R. And also you will see on this that I kind of changed my mind how to do this because I felt I was doing it wrong, so I hit Control Z once in a while. So I'm doing a loop cut one on the bottom side of the body, and make sure you click your wireframe mode once you select everything, right, and you are in the front view. You can click S, press S actually, to make the cube smaller. All of this you're gonna do in the edit mode. The changes that we're making to the cube are done in edit mode, as you see over there. You can change your modes either from the drop down menu, or simply hit tab and choose the mode that you want to be in. Right now this looks very low poly, but I think we're getting there. Ideally, well, you can get the exact same shape, but at least you can try to get the exact same shape. Now you're gonna see I'm gonna make a mistake here because I am not in the wireframe mode. So what this happens is that because I cannot select all the points if I'm not in the wireframe mode, but now I can because I moved that. And then I'm gonna create another loop clip on the top, and I'll try to make the top a little bit smaller with S. Of course, you have to select the points that you want to make smaller, and we get something like this. We're getting there. Now I'm gonna increase the subdivision up until 3, and we're gonna get something like this. I think I'm gonna make the head a little bit smaller on top to be a little bit or less pointy. Again, selecting the points I need, and I'm gonna get something like this. Go back to edit mode, go back to object mode, and right button on your body and shade smooth there. Now I'm gonna move obviously the image a little bit back because I feel like it's in the way. Now it's time to add the mouth. Now the mouth is a very simple shape. I'm just gonna go for the sphere, the UV sphere. You do that by going to object mode and then Shift A and add a UV sphere. And I'm gonna move this by the different axes that you see there. So basically, press G and the axis that you want to move this on. The Z axis is the up and down. So now I'm trying to squish the face, if you will, the mouth. Actually, not the face, it's the mouth. By pressing S and then Y. I don't know why the Y doesn't show up. And then when you press R, you can rotate the object again. This time I rotate it on the Y axis as well. And we're gonna get something like this. Again, right button there once we are in object mode and shade smooth. And yeah, we're now just gonna move to the rest of the body parts. Of course, as I go, I might go back again and try to reform some of the shapes. Now I'm gonna add a cube. I decided to use the cube this time. S to scale it down, G and then X to move it on the side, and then apply a modifier by 3. There's a shortcut for that. You can literally press Ctrl and 3. Now we're gonna move this up by the X. We need to move this by the X and to be around there. Again, you don't have to be the exact precise. So S and Y to scale it on the Y. And I guess this has to be the ear. I'm trying to rotate this. I'm not rotating it on the proper axis. So gonna make this S a little bit and X, I believe, and then S again on the X until I get the position I want. Now you don't have to do the other ear the same way you did this one, because right now, once we're happy with the position, obviously right button and shade smooth. Remember, you can only do this in the object mode. Once we're happy, I guess I'm moving this in the position I like. We go to the modifiers, and then we're gonna add a mirror modifier. Make sure you select your ear for that, and then from the picker, select the object that you want to mirror that ear based on the body in our case. So with the picker, we should select the body. Now, same thing goes for the other body parts. Now, I decided to go back and this time select the face. As you see, my face button is all over there. I'm gonna try to make this a little bit smaller. And I'm assuming, because I want to make it be almost the same as the model I previously made, which is kind of hard to do. But right now, we're gonna focus on the rest of the body parts. So we're gonna do the head. And I decided to use the cube again and to add a modifier, subdivision modifier. Again, do this by 3 and just go to edit mode. And we're gonna add a couple of loop cuts there. Okay, so front view so we can see it easily. Control and R, then move your loop cut on the top, and then make another loop cut, and then this time this loop cut to be around there maybe, because I'm gonna move the lower part. I'm gonna make sure I go into the wireframe mode. For whatever reason now it didn't work. My wireframe mode. I might be pressing something wrong. You see that in a minute. You see that I only moved the potential hand on one side, and right now I don't see that, but once we move around, we're gonna see that I only move one side of the hand. I mean, you can leave it like that, but I wanted to move the other side as well. So I go Control Z a couple of times. Again, the same thing. And I don't know, maybe I'm doing something wrong here. Maybe I'm not pressing the right button for that. But yeah, I think I had this activated or something like that. It didn't allow me to select the rest of the points. And after trial and error, I finally figured out that this button wasn't clicked on, and now I believe if I go to front view, then I select everything, then every single point will be selected. So G now to grab, and then Z to move it down. There we go. And now we can go to object mode, right button, well, not right button, but S, and then I'll try to position this, I guess, in a T pose. Okay, so we're gonna make this smaller. It's really up to you how you want to make this look like. Maybe we can make the hand a little bit longer. Again, going back into edit mode. And now I decided to move the loop cut I made a little bit down, so the hand will be that pointy. Okay, so I mean, it's very simple. I know it's very simple, but I think it does the job. So right button, shade smooth over there. So now we're gonna rotate this. Basically, the way you rotate this is select the mesh that you want, press R, and then the axis that you want to rotate this. In our case, this will be the Y axis. So press R, Y, and then 90. And you should get a perfect angle. Now I did press 90 in the other direction, but if you think you're doing it in the wrong direction, you can simply add minus and then the number 90. So now we're just gonna move this to connect with the body, and as the ear we did, we're gonna add a modifier over there. We're gonna select with the picker the body so we can mirror our hand based on the body. And the next thing, as you can tell, is going to be the leg. We're gonna just do the exact same thing. We're just gonna do one of the legs, and then we're gonna mirror that leg. On object mode, we're gonna do that. We're gonna add a new mesh. Again, that will be the cube. And I just wanna move the cube away so I can see the cube. And we're gonna add a modifier. Now you can use the shortcut, or you can do it the way I do it here on the video. The shortcut is Control and 3. So we're gonna go into edit mode, and from there we're gonna do this in front view. So we're gonna add a couple of loop cuts, one on top, right, to make it that way. There we go. This one, it will be on the bottom as well. Oh, I messed up a little bit on the bottom. There we go. And one more will be around there. So once we'll try to select the faces of this mesh that we have. So we're gonna go into wireframe mode. So I want to make this a little bit taller. And now we're gonna select the faces from over there. We're gonna select that face. And I'm gonna go, I think on the left was the right one. Just come here to select the proper face this time. Put this on the left side, and then press E. Now at the beginning I had a little trouble, but we're gonna extrude this to get this weird shape. Now as you notice that the toes, they don't quite fit on they're not flat on the bottom part of the leg. And it took me a while to figure out why this doesn't work the way it should work. So how we're gonna do this, literally extrude the feet, as you can see it, yes. And the way to fix, to make the feet and the bottom of the foot to basically to be able to be flat underneath, we're gonna add a loop cut for that. So we're gonna have this nice looking fruit and gonna hit Control and R, and then we're gonna make this look like over there, and then we're gonna move it down, and that way we're gonna have a nice looking fruit. Yeah, fruit in this case, and we're gonna make it a little bit smaller. Maybe I will make it a little bit taller again, and we're gonna follow the exact same thing we did with the arm and the ear. Okay, now I want to press all of the limbs. Basically, I want, when I move the body, I want everything else to move alongside with the body. So how are you gonna do that? We're gonna parent them, as I said. So first we're gonna select, let's say, the hands, then the legs, then the ears, then the mouth, and then the last thing that we're gonna select is the body, and then we're gonna hit P, and we're gonna parent that, because the last object that we select will be the parent object. So how to select multiple objects in I almost said creature. Oh my god. How we parent, how we select stuff, multiple stuff in Blender is by holding shift and using our left button of the mouse, and we select the meshes, the objects that we need to select. And once we're done, we can move our object up. That way everything else will move alongside with it. So the idea is to move the body and everything else to go with the body, just for now. So let's do these funky, wonky. Well, we forgot to do the tail action. What am I even talking about? What about the tail? So the tail, I'm gonna use again I have a long wick, okay? So we're gonna use the cube, and we're gonna apply a modifier to that cube, as we know that's the subdivision modifier. And we're gonna add a loop cut. One loop cut, and that, why can I say loop cut? There we go, loop cut. So that loop cut will go on top. So we're gonna make the top flat, and we're gonna shrink, basically we're gonna scale the bottom. So we're gonna have this weird cone shape. And we're gonna just position this and rotate, obviously, as I showed you before. You can use the top view for that, and no problem there. Yeah, that's how we end up with the tail on the bottom of the bear, and how we also can add the tail to be parallel to the body is we select the tail and then select the body, holding shift obviously, and then hit Control and P, and then that will stick there for now. So now it's time to do the orange inflatables, and yeah, I don't know how that goes. I went on a holiday, and we went to this I guess it's a resort. They have pools for the kids and for the grown-ups, but I'm not the type of person to sit by the pool. I wanted to explore, and the people with me, including two of my cousins, they didn't want to explore. So I'm like, why are you here then? Anyway, it's one of those places where if you have kids, right, you just go there so you can throw your kid into the pool, and then you go and relax. And yeah. so anyway, and before you throw the kid in the pool, you just tell this to your kid. You tell to your kid, I can make another one of you, so don't drown. And then you throw your kid into the pool. Anyway, back to this thing that we're making. Now, I don't think this is the best way we can make this shape, and we're using obviously the donut shape mesh, and I don't think my execution here was the best. Ideally, this would be the best way you can make this shape, but I thought it wasn't, and then you see me cutting up and down, and again, I don't think this is the best way you can make this sort of shape. And I should probably have select both of the loop cuts to move them at the same times, because right now they're not very well positioned, or at least at the time when I was doing this, because this is a recording, obviously. I thought this wasn't the best thing. As you can see, right now it's just too much. The loop cut is moved. It's scaled. The fuck is that? Scaled too much. So what I end up doing is doing something stupid, basically. So do you have to do this? Yeah, well, probably not. Probably this is not the best way to do this sort of shape. But then again, I'm kind of a noob with this program, and it's not very proportional. So I decided just to click one side of this and duplicate it. So we're gonna move this away from the model, because I think that was the part where I was tripping off, and we're gonna obviously activate our wireframe, and we're gonna go into edit mode, and I'm just gonna select this part of the mesh, and I'm gonna hit X and then delete it, because I thought, yeah, this is not how it is. So I'm left with this, and I will try to again loop select everything by holding Alt and Shift. So I'm gonna select this and then click Alt. So hopefully to loop select everything. So I'm gonna hit F, and we're gonna insert a face, which at this point it didn't make sense, to be honest, but while I was doing this, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, because you see me actually deleting that face later. So we're gonna add a modifier to this, because I didn't add a modifier. That modifier will be subdivision modifier. I'm gonna apply 3 on each side and click shade smooth. Everything that you see this while I am in the object mode. And we get the weird shape like this. Now, again, we'll try to insert a face, which will flatten that surface. Okay, first I tried to do a loop cut, but then I realized, wait, I can select the face. So I selected the face and then press I. Almost set that to be an E. And select I, and we'll make this part to be flat. And then we'll extrude this, and I'm gonna tell you, do not do this. Okay. I was playing around with fire, okay? It didn't work out well. I think, and you will see me undoing this a couple of times, and we will get to the point where we have something. Well, you don't have to do this, that's what I'm trying to say. You can literally apply the modifier. You don't even have to insert a face. We're gonna end up with a shape like this, and what I will do is basically duplicate that shape. Now, how you duplicate meshes inside Blender is by going to object mode. Go to object mode already, come on. You go to object mode and then hit Shift and D, and then press the right button of your mouse to position it there, and then we can grab it with G, and then obviously X to move it on the X, and we're getting something like this, which again, you don't need that face there that I did and that extrusion that I made. So again, Shift D, right button, then G, and then X, and then yeah, and then try to position this as you like. Again, we don't have to be exactly precise here, and for whatever reason now I want to rotate this. No, I want to press R, and then I don't know, my shortcuts are not visible, I'm sorry for that, but the way you flip this is pressing R and then X, and then I think it's 180, so to be flipped on the 180 degrees. If it doesn't work, then add minus 180 and it should have something like this. And by this point I will go to each object. I'll go select the faces, I'm gonna press X, and then I'm gonna go and delete the face. Now we need to go object mode, then select the other shape, which is this one, go back to edit mode, and then select the face, hit X and then delete the face. And we're gonna have to do this for the first one as well. Go back to object mode, select that shape over there, and then go back to edit mode, and then just select this face, X, and the faces. And we get something like this, which I mean, again, this is not ideal. Literally, I feel like you can do this with a simple shape, with the simple mesh that's coming with it. So I'm not sure if this is the best way to do. Anyway, I'm gonna select these and then I will combine them. I will merge them together. Selecting with Shift and then Control and J, as you saw. Now I'm gonna scale this and I will try to position this to be around of one of the hands. And then we're gonna apply the modifier for that, which is the mirror modifier, to mirror that on the other hand. And pretty much that's it. So we're gonna add a modifier, which is the subdivision modifier, and then we're gonna crack this up until 3. It looks alright to me. I'm gonna shade smooth that bowl that we have over there. Look at his little tail, so cute. So we're gonna scale this up, down, not up, down, and he will have a little bowl down there. Only one, I guess. You get what you get, okay? Then we're gonna move this up, and then we're gonna position this around the mouth, and he looks like a clown. That's sad. We're gonna go into edit mode, and you can still see the cube, and we're gonna add our favorite Control and R. Actually, let's just do this in wireframe mode, which I don't think is a good idea because you can barely see what you're doing. One lookup will go on the top, almost the top, and we're gonna grab the bottom. Let's just position this in front view, go to wireframe, grab the bottom, and then press S. And we're gonna get a shape like this, yeah. And yeah, it looks like a nose to me, okay? If you have problems, make a better one, okay? So right now I'm selecting the edges, and I think I didn't quite do well here. So the idea is to select the top edge, alright? So we select the top edge, and I'm just gonna position this with the top edge selected. Just grab it with G, and you can move it backwards over there. So when we go in front, you see that it has this funky little shape. And we can go back to object mode, and you know what? We are done. This is our model, boys and girls and boys, fellas. Yo, I'm really, really happy, and I just gave my bear a blue nose. Yeah. Hips don't lie. Oh yeah. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. It's been a long week, okay? I got a weird toothpaste infection. No, allergic reaction to the toothpaste. Then I got a cold a couple of times. Then I had to deal with a weird housemate. I still have to deal with a weird housemate. I'll probably try to hide in my room most of the time. Nothing new there. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like this video if you actually did like this video. But I'm assuming if you're watching on this or by this part of the video, I guess you already like what you saw. Anyway, I really like how the bird turned out. I really like my model here. I know it's very simple. It's very simple modeling, but I hope this video helped you in some shape or form. I will be making, the next video will be probably on coloring the bear and rigging the bear, and I'm quite happy with my model here. It's, I think, the first character model I do by myself without watching anyone else doing their own characters, and I'm very happy how this turned out. It's been a long week for me, so I'm still figuring out how to do these better so they can be understandable and easy to follow, and I'm learning as I go, okay? I'm learning as I go. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below if you don't understand something or you think something might be done better. I'm always open for constructive criticism, just like this one. Man, typos, I think hate typos. But anyway, on the serious note, I'm gonna see you in the next one, and until then, stay healthy, enjoy life, as we should. And yeah, I can't stop looking at my bear count. Yeah, I'm kind of proud of that one. Okay, so bye for now, and yeah, that's my outro. Yeah, make sure you subscribe, or maybe actually don't subscribe. Go away now.